People would ask me a lot when I was working on the new version, the 20th anniversary edition. Well, what's changed? What's different? Are they still sitting together in the cafeteria? And we know the answer is yes. Black students are still sitting together in the cafeteria. But when I thought about that question, it would often be framed as, well, isn't it better? Hasn't anything gotten better? And when I thought about that question from the point
Mm.
of view of someone born in 1997, I wasn't sure that the answer would be yes. If you ask me, born in 1954 in Jim Crow, Florida, Tallahassee, Florida, have things gotten better since that time? The answer would, of course, I would have to say, yes, things have gotten better from, my parents' circumstance. In 1954, just to put this in context, one of the reasons we left Tallahassee was my father, who was teaching at the time at Florida A&M, had a bachelor's degree from Howard, a master's and MFA from the University of Iowa, and wanted to get a doctorate. In 1954, even after Brown, he could not um, attend Florida State University, which offered the degree he wanted, but only to white people, right? It was still a whites only institution. So, what did the state of Florida do after Brown versus Board of Education? They said, okay, we will pay your transportation out of the state. My dad got his degree from Penn State. He commuted back and forth between Tallahassee, Florida, and State College, Pennsylvania to get that doctorate because he couldn't go across town to Florida State University. When I tell people that story today, people are like, what? That's ridiculous. Well, it was common practice in the 50s. Today, Florida State's a very diverse institution. I've spoken there a few times, and there's a statue erected to the first students who desegregated the institution. It's a very different time and place than in 1954. So if you know that, if that's your family history, and someone says, "Are things better?" I would say, sure. I went to the University of Michigan. My kids went to the colleges of their choice. They didn't have to think about which ones were available to them the way my father did. But if you were born in 1997, you're not thinking about that either because that's long been established. If you were born in 1997, you were 4 years old in 2001 when 9/11 hit. And even if you don't remember that, that experience, that the sort of anti-Muslim rhetoric, the us them language, the sense of the United States is under attack, shaped your experience in some significant ways. When you were 11, 2008, Barack Obama was elected, but before that, the economy tanked, right? And so maybe your family struggled with housing issues or financial insecurity because of the Great Recession. But then President Obama is elected in 2008. And from the time that you were 11 to the time that you were 19, that 8-year period was shaped by seeing a Black family in the White House and people telling you that we are in a post racial moment. Though that narrative, that post racial narrative, was challenged certainly by things like the killing of Trayvon Martin when you were 15, 2012. If you were born in 1997, you're 15 when that happened. And maybe you identified with Trayvon Martin if you're a young Black adolescent. And could that happen to you? And how do you think about that? And then, of course, the emergence of Black Lives Matter. Following that, 2016, you are 19 years old and listening to the rhetoric of candidate Trump, then elected President Trump, celebrated by white nationalists parading on, Pennsylvania Avenue shortly thereafter. Um, and then people will say to you, person born in 1997, is it getting better? Maybe not, right? Maybe not through your lens of that 20-year time span.